Hey, what's going on, guys? Nick Unsworth from lifeonfire.com, and I'm really excited because I've got a very special guest here today. And as you guys have may already seen, we are actually in a humongous RV or bus. I mean, this thing is 36 feet long. It's Dave's. And as many of you know, I've been from the goal setting Life on Fire TV episode. It's been my dream to get a big RV. So we're talking about that. We're working something out. And because we want to have this thing be the Life on Fire bus and cruise around the country and share the good message with Life on Fire. So I'm really excited. We're out here in Chula Vista, out here in southern San Diego. And so the special guest, Dave Austin, is a mentor of mine. He's a peak mental performance coach. Work with all types of celebrity athletes and celebrities in general on mindset. And so a lot of you guys know me as a business coach and help people with their marketing and strategy. And I'm getting more and more into mindset and really uncovering how big of a need it is. And so when I think about all the people in my life and about who's living a life on fire, the more and more I got to know Dave, it's like not only Dave, but his wife and his entire family. It's like in their DNA to live a life on fire. And so today, I said to myself, I set the intention, I wanted to get an RV deal going. I wanted to literally have an RV or get the process at least of buying one going this month. And so I got 2 days left, by the time I'm shooting this now, at the time it's going to be after January, but I'm like, I got 2 days left. I got to get this thing going. I've got calls into like La Mesa RV. I call up Dave and said, listen, man, I got to see this thing. And so he happened to coincidentally be wearing a Life on Fire TV, Life on Fire shirt, and like, let's make it happen. So we're coming here on the fly. I'm here with Dave Austin, peak mental performance coach, and you guys better buckle your seatbelt. This is gonna rock. So welcome, man.
Well, thank you. It's so much fun, and welcome to this beast on fire.
Beast.
If some of you know me, I have the Be a Beast program, and when you combine it to having your life on fire, oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Beast on fire.
and what a great setting this is, because one of the things that I coach is that you already come from your dream. You don't try to get to your dream. So just sitting here like this, is this it? I mean, you had an intent before the end of January. So here it is, baby. You're coming from it.
So what's crazy is I didn't realize, I've actually never even seen an RV. This, there's a button in the entire side. It goes like a transformer out, 4 feet?
Yeah.
So this whole thing, there's so much space in here. So this actually is cooler looking than the one I had been picturing and envisioning. But I think that's a cool concept about just putting yourself in the environment. And I think about the morning routine you brought me on of just seeing the planes. Maybe just share that a little bit.
Well, what I do every morning, because life is happening every single day, and people always say, well, how do you stay in it? Because you can have all the great, everything set up, but your old paradigms, your subconscious is going to come back. It's going to do whatever it wants, that's familiar with. So how do you shift that? It's a daily practice. How did I become a professional tennis player? I hit backhand after backhand, forehand after forehand, and it became something that I could rise up into that world class. Well, you can live your life as a world class if you choose to. It's a choice. Most people think, well, how do I get there? Well, you start by having a practice. Every day I start by going down to the water and I quiet my mind, because we have over 60,000 thoughts a day, and it's just crazy. And when you add pressure to it, then your subconscious is going to go do whatever it's used to doing. So the way you counteract that is I do a process. You've done it with me.
This is the Morning on Fire. Oh, I think I call it the morning ritual or morning routine on the Life on Fire site. But this is part of this came together with Dave and seeing his. So this is cool.
And so however you do it, it's taking the time. Basically, it's taking the time so that you tap into an intelligence beyond yours. I mean, this is what Einstein did. I mean, I'm doing it my way. You're doing it your way. We're blending our ways. But the truth of the matter is, we're doing it. That's what it is.
So give us a couple steps. So many of you guys may have seen my morning routine. So give us a couple steps of what should they do in the morning to get the day started right and start this motion moving forward.
Well, what I start with, generally now, I've added one little step, is I take a really good book that fires me up. I might read a few pages just to get me into the motion going. And then wherever I am, I usually go to the beach. So I just look at nature and I start appreciating nature. We can walk right by it, but when we really connect to it, there's a power, there's an energy there. So I just grab hold of that. So then I start shifting into that strength. And then I do what I circle myself with what I call a divine white light. So, darkness can't be in light.
So are you visualizing yourself in like third party, like in front of you, and then you're putting a light around yourself?
I'm seeing myself just boom, and then I go through every one of my loved ones. And it takes a while. There's a discipline to that because my mind wants to wander, but I'm teaching my mind to go, no, you're focused. And I see and I experience all my loved ones, cousins, brothers, even the toughest one is let's say I have a conflict with someone. I circle them. Okay. It just breaks the ice, whether they know it or not, because life is energy. After I get done with that, then I just start thinking about what am I grateful for? Okay. Because it's so easy to get bogged down of all that crap that's going on. Yeah. And I go, no, I want to know what am I grateful for? And when you start tapping into the energy of that, Jesus, you just feel a strength. You just, wow. It's a great way to start the day. And then I do a visualization where I close my eyes and I see myself go through nature, because as I say, nature is such an incredible power that when you appreciate it, it lifts you up. I mean, it's hard to describe, but some of the things that I've written, if I'm a best-selling writer or an author, you know, my wife will go, she knows, she goes, that didn't come from you. That came through you. And that's the biggest compliment she can give me. Everyone is capable of doing this. And like, you give people great, great tools, but if they don't change their mindset to accept the wealth that they can have, doesn't matter how good your tools are. So I'm visualizing, I'm seeing it, just like you saw your motorhome. You saw it. Well, you know what? It shows up sometimes this or better. How's that? Just this or better. And because you're so focused on it, think about what triggered this whole thing to happen today. It's like, oh, it's the end of January. Boom, Dave, now. And we're here. That's how life happens.
The power of setting an intention at the beginning of the month and doing the goals correctly. You know, and somehow this all manifested together at the perfect timing, you know, and sometimes it takes all the way up to the last minute where you're like, you know, yesterday it's like, oh crap, how am I going to get this RV, you know, by the end of the month? And all of a sudden I wake up today and we had a call, and it was like, I literally called Dave back and was like, hey man, it's kind of a crazy situation, but what are you doing in like a couple hours?
Yeah, and I just, when I didn't know what he had, I texted him back and said, I like crazy. Yeah. You know, and early in the morning, I think it was 6 something, you just sent me a text, it just said fire.
Yeah, because you wrote something like, you're on, oh no, you're like, Nick, you're on, and then I just wrote fire.
So the last step that we do is, so now I've moved all that crap out of my head. Then I have a pad, and I'll ask any question I need in life, and then I just let it go, and I answer it through, as I say, an energy or an intelligence that goes way past me, and so it's easy solution, and it's a crazy. I even call it now, you know, sourcing. You know, source again. Guys like Einstein, if you really dig deep, they all did it. That's why they're so freaking smart. It's like a computer has a lot of things going on in a computer, but if it's not plugged into the internet, it's gonna only do this. Sure. So it's my plug-in. Okay. How's that? Okay.
So you get your morning started with the morning ritual, morning routine gets you going, and I think so. So the outcome of that is how does that impact your day, and how has that impacted your life? Like, what are the results that someone can expect? Because for me, I know Dave very well, and I see the lifestyle he lives, and everything just comes to him. It flows to their family. Their kids are freaking amazing, and it's like, how are some people set up and have such joy and happiness and fulfillment, and things just come to them, where some people struggle so much? And is this part of that, and that's what's attracting things? Or
yeah, absolutely, because if I just relied on myself, I'm probably going to fall short, because when I don't do it, I live a day differently. I really do. And so even though I've been doing this for years, you know, it's a daily practice. I call them winning habits. When you create winning habits, you just can't lose. Even when it looks like you're losing on the outside, you don't lose, because you start looking at things differently. As I told you a little bit earlier, let's say you've got rent due and you just lost your biggest client, and you're going, oh, and if you get in the energy of, man, that's Friday, that rent's going to hit me, or my house payment, whatever it is. So you get buried in it, rather than, that condition's not going to change. But if you see it as, what's the opportunity in this? And you come from a different energy, you actually come from above it rather than in it, because the problem is not going to be solved in the problem. You got to rise above it. So by doing this daily, things come to me and go, oh yeah, oh this, and little things happen. And, oh God, Nick said this. All of a sudden you're hearing things more. I forgot that Nick said that, or whoever is, you know, people who I mentor. Dave said this, or I have a coach too, because to be hypocritical, because they're outside my picture frame. You know, they can see things I can't. I go, oh yes. You know, even though I know a lot of this, when someone from the outside can just say, hey, just look to your left, right here. There it is, boom. But you're approaching it with a different attitude. You're not going, I gotta have this by Friday, you know, and you're just going, okay, game on. It's like you said, fire.
Totally. You know, there's like a level of confidence, and I think it's like, so many, you know, it's almost like as an entrepreneur, I mean, you're just comfortable being outside your comfort zone and knowing that you're going to just find a solution. Whereas sometimes the challenge will pop up. And I think about like with our team, or, you know, when Ryan started, you know, it's like a challenge would pop up and it's like devastating at first. Like, oh my God, how are we going to make that bill, or how are we going to pay things? And it's like, instead of getting consumed by that, to your point, you know, to rise above it and think about, you know, the solution and not the problem. But so that's cool. Dave, so you're with Extreme Focus, and what would be your biggest tip on how someone can just drill down and have that extreme focus on, it could be for their business or for their life or just for a project? So what are a couple tips about focus?
Well, I think the biggest tip I can give you is, I love to tell stories, examples. Something just happened a couple days ago. I reached out to Bud Black, who's the manager of the Padres, and I said, Bud, are you guys ready to win a World Series? You know, just bold. I said, you know, I did it with the Dodgers, you know, I did it with the Green Bay Packers. How about the Padres? Is it your turn? Yeah. Is it your turn? If it is, let's have coffee next week. I got a text back going, Friday, 7:30. He says, I'm ready for a World Series in San Diego. I said, good, game on. So we went, we met, but as I'm going, you know, you can go with, oh, but what have I got to do and all this, but I just keep it very simple. I set intentions. Why are we sitting here right now? It's because you set very clear intentions.
I planted the seed, yeah. And I read a story I wrote to myself every day this month. And it was about the RV and about how big it was. And
see, you know what I mean? That's a clue. Yeah. You know, whenever you've been to his mastermind, I always say success has clues. Yeah. There's another huge clue. He did it every day, talked it, and it happened. So as I'm driving there, I said, what are the three things? Because you can get all bogged down in things. I just decided, what is it that I want to do? I want to show him that what I do is different, that it's not the typical thing that what I do. And two, I want to have fun. I want to have kick-ass fun. I wanted him to have fun. And you know, I can't even remember the third one. Those were my key intentions. And so, you know, when I went there, it just opened up and it just played out because it was very clear. I wasn't trying to do anything more than just that. And at the end, now we're at a restaurant. He brought Dave Roberts, his bench coach, and we're sitting at a restaurant. People have to know who they are. We're in San Diego, and we're not even paying attention. At the end, you know, we're talking about, I have this thing called game readies to prepare ball players to play, but I have a private client who's a mental performance coach in Israel I'm doing right now that is, she calls them game overs. I thought, well, she's got it misinterpreted. She goes, no, I saw your video. You talked about it's already done when you've done. I went, oh, wait, now she's teaching me. And so I said, you know what we got to do, guys, is we got to, it's game over, baby. And so all of a sudden, we all stood up after talking, and all of us went the fist, you know, we're in a restaurant, and we just, and we all go, game over. And we walk out of there and people are kind of looking at us. But as I thought about it, he goes, you know what? You're different. You're different. Then he says, and he goes to Dave Roberts, how many people do we talk to? And Dave goes, you know, gosh, we get probably 3 or 4 emails on mental performance coaches. Sure. And so, well, that's my intention. He goes, this was kick-ass fun. And I thought, oh, that's my intention. See, you just have to narrow it down and don't worry about anything else. We try to do too much. We make it too complicated. It doesn't have to be that complicated. When I played professional tennis, I made it complicated because, oh, I got to do this. When I finally just said, no, I'm going to do this and I'm going to keep doing it until he can prove that I can't do this.
Now, would you say it's a combination of like rinse and repeat? Like it's like practicing the same foul shot or the same backhand with tennis over and over, or like narrowing your focus down and just doing it over and over and over until you master it? Or
well, I think that you got to get comfortable. Prep is one thing, but then you have to be in that place. Once you've prepped so much, you're relaxed enough to set your intention and then let it go wherever it has to go. You might adapt. You know, you don't want to try to channel everything because then you're pushing. You don't want to push, you want to just be present. And here's a key element that I've had to learn over the years is listen. You know, so you've set your intentions, but I listen more, and so the intentions kind of just show up naturally almost. Because, you know, like what you've done, like my son who's a professional quarterback in football, every day, right now, he's in arena football, which is going to be starting up in March. Every day in his mirror, there's a little card that says, I am the offensive player of the year for the AFL. And he just says it every day as he's brushing his teeth. That sounds simple, but he's just training his brain. So now in the off season, he's gone and practicing. He says his whole practice, even though he's a hard worker anyway, There's more fun in it. He's already practicing as achieving it. He's not trying to achieve it. He's already achieved it, and that's how he's going into the field every day.
So a couple things stood out. So the fact, so when he reads that, it says I am, right? So he's explaining it as if he already has it. And so one thing that's interesting is that, you know, in my morning routine, I write as if I've already achieved it a month later. And so it sounds like there's a level of belief. And what's interesting is it safe to say that if someone comes up with their passion or comes up with a goal that might be bigger than them, and walk us through how they can manifest that, walk us through so how they set the intention and how they go out and get it. So if you're sitting there and you're like, you know what, I like this guy, I want to like love my job or live the life on fire, or, you know, get the RV, what would you say the steps are?
Well, I think first of all is knowing. You know, you can even take a moment and say, okay, it's 2017. I am so happy that my health looks like this. I am so happy. So you just and just don't try to go, well, how is that possible? You just first of all know by putting it there, no judgment. And then you just start taking little steps. To get big things, you take little steps. Yeah. And so people try to go, smaller, yeah. And when you hit something's a roadblock, see it, okay, where's the opportunity in this roadblock? Okay. Most people, that's where they get nailed down. Do you know, if you really study successful people, I mean, this is really interesting. Most of them have failed along the way several times, but they don't look at it as failure. I mean, really look. Most people just see, oh my gosh, look at where they are. Yeah. But they didn't know they went through the same stuff we did. The only difference is that we stopped.
It's how you react to it.
It's how you react to it and move through. Gosh, Edison and the light bulb. You know, he had 10,000 tries at it and said, how could you deal with so many, you know, disappointments? And what disappointments? They were getting me closer. You know, that's just kind of, he was already there. He knew that light was going to be able to be done. He just had to keep going through these opportunities to learn how to bring it together. Right. That's a mindset. Same thing with the Wright brothers and flying a plane.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like once you have the vision, as long as you have the mindset to not get, so people out here in San Diego call it butthurt, which is just disappointed, or it's like, you know, every time something happens, look at, if you can frame your challenges as your biggest blessings or successes, you know, some of the things that have happened, what's crazy is that when you think about some of the worst things that have happened to some really troubled people, whether it's, I've got a friend, Wes, who got abandoned, I think it was age 2, which is just, you know, there's missing love and there's void and all these things. That biggest challenge in his life is now his biggest blessing, because he's made it his mission to go out and help foster kids and all this cool stuff. So that's a cool way to look at it. So
you just gave me the biggest takeaway today.
Here's the big nug.
Here's the big nug. You know, here's the big nug. Total honesty in that. So I'm 36 years old, I think, living the life. I've played professional tennis. You know, it looks right. You know, it looks everything right with the house, everything. I signed personal guarantees because I had property on the water, had property in Rancho Santa Fe, you know, all looked right. But I signed personal guarantees because I was building, I was into this thing, and interest rates went to 20%. And I signed personal guarantees, so I always win, no big deal. Let me just tell you something. They didn't even have to go to court to take my money. They just, those personal guarantees, I went to the bank, I had not one penny to my name. Not one penny. So I went from, whoa, it was the greatest gift. Now, it didn't look like a gift right there at first. You know, it looked pretty bad. But it was the greatest gift I've ever been given because, you know, for me, I didn't even realize it. I got caught up in my stuff. And I thought people only liked me because of my stuff. And I was just starting to date Kathy at the time. You know, now we've been married for going on 28 years. Oh, wow. And the interesting thing is I called her and I said, we can't go out tonight. We're going to go to a movie and that. And she goes, why? I said, because I don't have one dime to my name. I mean, literally, you know, it was like, wow. And she goes, so why aren't we going out to eat and to the movie? I'm like, oh, I don't think you heard me. She says, I heard you. She says, but I have a job. Can I pay? And I'm like, oh, you know, the ego. But then I said, all right, we'll do that. And then you know, it was really interesting. I mean, you like me for me? It's not my stuff. It ended up really being a blessing. I don't think, you talked about my boys, and I don't think I'd have those boys if that didn't happen. And so one of the other things, the blessing it was, is that I lived through it. I'm still here. I'm sitting in this RV right now, and I've had some bumps and I've had some bruises, but I still, when I take a mirror and I go, I'm seeing that I'm freaking breathing, baby. And we worry about things that, are they that important? It seems to at the time. But I lost everything.
So the biggest challenge turned into, I mean, you proving that you can rebuild from scratch. You can do anything you put your mind to. You know, Kathy, still
with me, believe it or not. I do a new thing now too. It just started this weekend. I saw a couple propose over the weekend at an event I was at, and everyone got so excited. I said, you know what? I'm going to propose to Kathy every day. So every day I wake up now. This is on the 4th day. I said, Kathy, will you marry me today? And when she goes yes, I'm going, yeah. Nice. And it's just the way I'm starting my day now. If she says no, it's going to be kind of a bummer day, but you know.
That's awesome. Well, Dave, I want to thank you for everything here today. And so how do people find you online?
Okay.
How do people connect with you?
ExtremeFocus.com. Cool. You can go to Extreme Focus Facebook, or you know what? Hey, hit me up, Dave Austin, on Facebook too. Those are probably the best way. Those are the 3 ways that I would suggest. And don't be bashful. Reach out. It'd be fun to see you. I love getting people. You do too. I mean, that's the passion. Is letting people have permission to bring out all their genius. I think everyone has a genius in them. Well, they hold the key to it. They don't understand it. So all I do is help them unlock it so they can just take fire, baby.
Unlock the beast. Let the beast out. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the session here today, and just pop down below and leave a comment and say what's up to Dave and to us. So leave a comment, share this with any friends on Facebook, tweet it out, and we'll catch up with you guys next week on the next episode of Life on Fire TV.
I love it, baby.
Great.
We're on fire.
You'll see this thing cruising soon. See you guys.